You're watching college softball on the SEC Network. It's time to wrap up the spring break showdown with a reunion at Rhodes as number 21 Alabama faces off against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and we welcome you to the booth here in Tuscaloosa at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside my all-SEC partner, Jenna Johnson. And Jenna, this game is going to be a lot of fun because for the Alabama program about to take the field, there's a familiar face in the third base coaching box for Louisiana.
Absolutely. Coach Allison Habits is back here in the Rhodes House. So exciting to have her back. So many people in this stadium love her.
Yeah, spent 25 years as the associate head coach in Tuscaloosa, in her first season in Lafayette, leading Louisiana, and just someone who's meant so much to this program, Jenna.
She's meant so much to me, and I can speak as a former player who played for her. She's just somebody who brings overwhelming joy to every single person on this Alabama staff.
And she was honored yesterday pregame as well. It was a beautiful ceremony here at Rhodes. Well, Alabama is trying to continue an undefeated weekend here at the Spring Break Showdown. Earlier today, it was a wacky game with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa took the lead 1-0 in the top of the fourth, but an error on a bases-loaded moment, and then an RBI groundout gave the Tide 3 runs in the fourth inning. In the fifth, more craziness. A challenge on that play at third showed that Larissa Pruitt beat out the throw. Because she was safe at third base, there was no force, so a run scored. Iowa's acting head coach Carl Golan was tossed, and the Tide eventually took down Iowa 5-1. Maybe we'll get a more normal game between Alabama and Louisiana as Patrick Murphy turns to the senior from Bunn, North Carolina, Emily Winstead in the circle. Well, back on Friday in game one of our doubleheader, it was all Mississippi State. Raylan Chafin, a beautiful, complete game victory in the circle, and the Bulldogs had 3 home runs on the way to a 9-1 victory in 6 innings over the Crimson Tide. But Alabama would not go quietly Friday. Game 2, a 7-4 Alabama win, capped off by an Abby Dukeshire 2-run homer to set up the rubber match here today. You're watching college softball on the SEC Network, and we welcome you to Tuscaloosa, the site of Game 3 between number 23 Alabama and number 19 Mississippi State. And we welcome you to the booth here at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside my all-conference partner, Jenna Johnson. And Jenna, after the way Friday went, it feels like anything could happen here today between these two teams.
It absolutely does. This series feels so even right now. And it's early in SEC play, but both teams understand the importance of winning Game 3 and taking the series. So I'm expecting a fight today.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see these two teams do battle once again. And Mississippi State has made a lot of noise up at the top part of the order. Sierra Sacco has been outstanding. And how about Jessie Blaine hitting .583 in conference play, a .706 OBP against SEC teams?
Well, the top of this Mississippi State order is showing up and showing out. Runners in scoring position, they have been executing, and they're the difference maker for this team right now.
And we'll see if the rest of the lineup as well can keep it rocking and rolling for the Bulldogs, trying to win a series in Tuscaloosa for the first time in program history. And they've scored in the first inning of every game so far in the series. We'll see if that continues against Alabama's starting pitcher, the righty transfer from UNCW, Emily Winstead.
Well, she's a great pitcher in the circle for the Crimson Tide. She's been showing up for her team this year, 1.85 ERA. And that's what Alabama has been circling, and that's why she's getting the start to this game.
This is Winstead's first appearance this year against a ranked team. And we'll see how it goes. Nice weather after all the storms that came through Alabama yesterday. We certainly hope everyone watching is safe and sound and ready to enjoy this rubber match between the Tide and the Bulldogs. You're watching college softball on the SEC Network. It is a humid afternoon in Tuscaloosa for Game 2 between number 25 Alabama and number 17 Georgia in the annual All for Alex Day across the SEC. And we welcome you to the booth here at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside the All-American Kaylee Tao, the All-Conference player, Allie Shipman. We're so glad that you're spending your Saturday here with us. And ladies, game one last night was a really fun affair. Georgia took it 4-3, but it was a tight start from the very first pitch to the very end. And it was really kind of what we expected coming into this series.
Absolutely. It was a bit of a rough game in terms of errors. 6 errors on both sides, but it was Lily Backus in the circle that really stepped up and shut those Alabama offenses down.
And not pretty offensively either, but it was Georgia that found the insurance run in the 7th inning that ultimately ended up being the difference in the game.
Yeah, the situational hitting numbers for both sides aren't pretty. You're not going to write books about them, but Georgia just did a better job in the big moments. And really, Kaylee, Alabama felt like so many chances slipped by, and a big reason why was that 4 for 20 mark with runners on.
Yeah, some strikeouts, unproductive outs with runners in scoring position. Part of that due to what Lily Backus was doing in the circle, but they're going to have to change that today, find some big hits with runners in scoring position if they want a different result.
Well, the Tide will also need a good start in the circle from the Ole Miss transfer, the senior out of Dandridge, Tennessee, Caitlin Riley.
And Caitlin Riley is one of those pitchers that's going to try to induce a ground ball. She's got a 6.12 conference ERA. She's going to throw that drop to both sides, only about mid-60s, but that changeup in the rise ball really going to set up that down ball in the zone to try to set up those ground balls for her defense.
And Riley is facing a Georgia lineup that saw Jaden Goodwin have a really strong game one, 2 for 3, an RBI. That RBI was the sac fly in the 7th that proved to be huge to get that insurance run. And also don't forget Sarah Gordon, who got things started in the first inning last night with that RBI double. As we get closer to May, the stars come out, including Alabama's Audrey Vandegrift, named a National Freshman of the Year finalist today, and Julia Crenshaw looking to get it rolling for Missouri in T-Town. You're watching college softball on the SEC Network. We had to push things back a little bit because of some weather in the area, but the rain is gone, and we're all set for game one in this crucial late April series between number 15 Alabama and the visiting Missouri Tigers here in Tuscaloosa. And we welcome you to the booth here at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside my All-American partner, Kaylee Tao. And Kaylee, this weekend has a lot at stake for both sides in this matchup.
Alabama coming off a heartbreaking late inning loss to Florida in Game 3, and Missouri with their backs up against the wall trying to make the NCAA tournament late in this season.
Yeah, right now Missouri is sitting under 500 at 23-26 overall. The rest of the resume is good, but now you need at least a 5-1 finish in the regular season to not have to worry about that overall record once you get to the SEC tournament.
The strength of schedule is so good, maybe overscheduled a little in their non-conference, weren't able to pull out as many wins early in the season, and now they've got to pull out a couple here at the end of the year to try to make the tournament.
And for Alabama, it's about finishing, finding a way to finish some games. 11 blown leads this season. Still in a good spot to host, but Bataille would love to turn around some of those late game antics.
And you think about if they would have won a quarter or half of those blown leads, they're probably looking at hosting a super regional and a top 8 national seed.
And if Alabama wants a good weekend, Audrey Vandegrift has got to be special at the top of the order, and Missouri's Julia Crenshaw is having the best season of her career.
Yeah, it's the rookie and the vet Crenshaw in her senior season, having her best year, a little edge on the home run numbers, but Vandegrift has her in the RBIs. Both of them are the motor for their offense, and they are going to be key this weekend if they want their team to win.
And we'll see Julia Crenshaw quickly against the starter for Alabama, the right-handed sophomore, Jocelyn Brisky, getting the ball in game one. And immediately a strike to Crenshaw, off and running here in Tuscaloosa.